Jude Romano, welcome to another episode of the Insurance Goat Show, where we give entrepreneurs a chance to tell their story. And today we have Mr. Got Muscles. I mean Got Mortgages. I say Got Muscles because it's a big guy. It's a big guy. Gorillas in the room.
Yes, sir.
Abdel, thank you for coming on, my friend.
Absolutely.
Thank you
pleasure.
so much.
Thanks
And,
me.
I just called you the gorilla. So why don't we start with sharing to our audience, what does the gorilla mean to you? I mean, for me, I'm the insurance goat. As you can see, I drop the goat emoji here and there. I drop it in a chat. I drop it on a post. It's like, boom. And I see you. What attracted me to you is I see that gorilla emoji. Drop, 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 right? So what does the gorilla mean to you? What does that represent?
So it honestly all started out as a joke like 5 years ago. One of my partners was at HomeSense or one of those stores. And if you ever walk in those stores and they got the little statues of the gorillas, you ever paid attention? So she got me one, and it was a gold one. And then we ended up kind of starting with one. Now I got like 15 of them, right? And then we started off as a joke where, we're referring, to you as the gorilla. And as you guys could see, 280,
Right.
6'2". Go to the gym here and there.
Yeah.
And, and then it translated to, dude, like even when we work, obviously, on our side, on the files. And they're like, you're protected. You're taking care of your flock. You're taking care of your people. And then when it's time to get aggressive and we got to, step up and pick up a big roar and pound our chest, we're pounding it and we're making it happen for our clients and getting it going. So,
Well, listen, I'm going to look for a gorilla Lego set. And our next episode, we're going to come to the office here. We're going to put together a gorilla Lego set.
I love
How's
it.
that sound, man? Listen, Abdel, I'm very impressed by you. I'm very impressed by the way you speak, by the way you carry yourself. And, furthermore, if I ever have any trouble, I'm naturally going to, instead of calling 911, I'm going to call you first, right?
Done deal.
And, but what brought you into the mortgage business?
So started off, first thing always was went to school at Rutgers, Newark, political science, ended up, graduating, pursuing the legal field. That's kind of where my whole, love, passion for
So
it
you were going to school for legal?
Yeah, I was going to school to be an attorney. Ended up having my daughter our senior year, college, veered left, ended up working at a pretty successful personal injury firm for a while. And, after a certain point, just my relationship, things how I am with my clients, being hyper aggressive, make sure our clients are taken care of with settlement agents, insurance agents, beating them up. Ended up, getting a lot of clients and building relationships thereafter. Now, some of these clients were getting big, hefty PI settlements. And then they were coming to me wanting to buy a house.
Sure.
And then eventually, one thing led to another. You're referring them to some of your colleagues, so on and so forth. Great guys, but they didn't give that gorilla experience.
Right.
And ended up getting my license, cranking away, and, found the love, found the passion for it. I'm obsessed. I'm not passionate for this thing. I'm obsessed.
Wow.
And making it work for our clients, just like I know you are with insurance, we rock and roll. And we ended up getting there, we're successful, top 1%, all that fun stuff. And now we have a solid team, group of loan officers, group of processors, we crank away. Blessed to be one of the top in the Northeast in our region with my company currently. And we take it from there. We have a lot of fun along the way.
You shared a few words just now that, for me, struck home and honestly gave me the chills for a minute when you said, obsessed. And then you also mentioned the word blessed. And for me, as a high-level producer, I'm hearing you, and I'm hearing you loud and clear. And I'm saying to myself, in order to run at the speed that we run at, you have to be obsessed with what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Now you don't necessarily have to be obsessed with what you're doing, and I don't mean that for a full wide audience. I'm saying if you want to be at the level and the height of top performers, you have to be obsessed. You have to be fully committed, and you have to be all in. And then you share the word blessed, and I just want to piggyback off that. Recently, over the past few weeks, I've experienced some loss in my personal life, and I always try to take something really good away from something bad that happened.
Sure.
And so to piggyback off your feelings of being blessed, I like to focus more on what we're able to do and not what we're not able to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
So appreciate you sharing that, and I feel exactly the same way as you, man.
Yeah, you know what, man? I mean, at the end of the day, I always tell people this is a lucrative business. We're here to make money, but we're putting people in homes, and I think it's an honor and an opportunity to be able to help people, and I'm grateful for that. I got a beautiful wife, married 15 years, 2 kids, and that's the driving force at the same time at home that brings it home. And we have the ability to make things happen when there's a million different lenders and a million different partners out there, and they trust us to get the job done. And I'm not going to sleep till the job's done.
Amen.
So
Amen. And I just want to share with you, just from following you on social media, you're inspiring people without realizing it. Because I sometimes see some of the posts of you, your family, your kids, your dog, and so forth, and it shows me the individual you are, and it brings me up to the surface at times. So
yeah,
I appreciate that. You're helping people without realizing it in more ways than just mortgages.
Yep.
Abdel, you're obviously into the fitness lifestyle. I mean, if you said you weren't, I would say we have a big problem here, because you look a little too fit to not be into fitness lifestyle. But so how do you tie fitness lifestyle? How do you incorporate that into your work lifestyle?
You know what? Your health is your wealth, as I always say. So, wake up every morning, 4 a.m., crank away, walk the dog. Gym opens at 5. I go to the LA down the street in Chalmers River. And I think it's important, once you develop the discipline at the same time, to be able to take care of your body, watch what you eat simultaneously, that translates into your personal and your professional life, right? And I found the same thing, passion, obsession with working out, staying in shape. If you ever knew me before, I was a 170-pound skinny dude. Ended, getting into college, like I think most of us, right? You found your way in the gym. Loved it. It's a great getaway when you're having a rough day, and you're like, what, I'm gonna go pound some weight.
Yeah.
And you do that. I think I've spent about 50 grand in equipment at home during COVID, because I was losing my mind.
Sure.
And now it's collecting dust. But it's it's there. If I ever got to let off some steam,
Sure.
we go there. But I think it's important, if you find any successful person, from what I've seen in any industry, whether you're an actor, whether you're an entrepreneur, whether it is waking up in the morning, right? And I'm not going to use the same cliche line, there's 24 hours in a day, but if I'm not working out in the morning, it's really hard for me to get to it. And I started out where I woke up at 8 o'clock, and then 7 o'clock, and then 6 o'clock, and I find myself every year bringing back the hour.
Sure.
But I got to get the time in, and then I do a lot of coaching too for different loan officers throughout, and got to squeeze it in, and we take it from there. So
biggest obstacle for entrepreneurs, any entrepreneur out there will attest to this, is time, right? Yeah. So if you can take an hour back every day, it's very helpful. I do wanna give a quick shout out. Because you reminded me of something. So you talked about your cost to fitness during COVID, right? So I need to give a shout out to Bully Juice. I don't know if you know who he is.
No.
Bully Juice, super huge trainer, social media, YouTube guy, and he got me through COVID. His videos got me through COVID for the year and a half plus. So big shout out to Bully Juice for keeping my fitness and my sanity during a difficult time. Abdel, what would you say is the biggest contribution to your success?
You know what, man? I think it's taking the education and the time that I've spent, aside from running and operating, my branch, I also own and operate a mortgage licensing school called Got License. And I think it's being able to break things down to clients in the simplest terms, right? The mortgage industry, real estate industry, even insurance industry, right? Where it's filled with so many acronyms, so many abbreviations, and people tend to lose it, And I used to catch myself sometimes where I would talk and I'd be like, yeah, you know what? Your LTV is this and your debt to income's a little high, but we're going to go ahead and we're going to put this together. And then if you're doing a 203K, we're going to do that. Or if you're doing a 203B, and then, I was blessed with my wife, who's also licensed with me too. And she'd be like, dude, you need to slow down and you need to break things down in the simplest terms. And I did. And I've got all this knowledge in my head from teaching, approved with the Department of Banking of Insurance to teach people who are trying to get into the industry.
Sure. Huge.
And I take that and I just translate all that to our clients, letting clients know that there is no one size fits all mortgage. And every person's job is unique, situation is unique, home type is unique. And it's up to me as the trusted expert when you're working with me to be able to help you and put you with the right professionals, like yourself and your team, in an effort to make sure that it's like, I got you. Like, you're going to be taken care of. I'm going to understand, are you looking for a specific monthly payment? Is it your total cash to close that's maybe an issue? Do I need to put you in a down payment assistance program? Can you qualify for a down payment assistance program? And not necessarily telling you what you want to hear, but allowing us the opportunity, to be able to under promise and over deliver every time. So
Sure. I mean, listen, I keep using the word, high level producers, and, that's what I like to call people like us. But long and short of it is, you have the secret sauce, right? And there's people who have the secret sauce, and there's people who don't. Speaking of the secret sauce, my good friend Abdel here is quite the dancer. As, a lot of you may know this guy for doing mortgages. There's no one size fits all. But let me tell you something. This guy, he's got the moves like Jagger.
yeah.
So Abdel, let me ask you this: what caused your interest to start taking dancing lessons with your wife? And then the second part of that question, Abdel, is: will I expect to see you on Dancing with the Stars one day?
That's the goal. All right. I'm gonna make my instructor proud. But no, you know what? Married to my wife, Ecuadorian. So we all know how a lot of us like to dance, whether it's bachata, salsa, merengue. And, I was always the kid that knew how to dance. We threw it down, but we fist pumped. We didn't do no merengue, bachata. And, eventually we ran into, when we moved down in Ocean County, ran into a school, and we were like, you know what? Let's take some classes. We tried one. We loved it. I think I booked 40 classes right now. We do.
So you got 40 classes under the belt?
Prepaid, yeah. No, prepaid 40 classes.
Oh, so you're committed.
Yeah, you're committed. We're in there Tuesdays, 7 o'clock, shout out to Shall We Dance and Tom's. And, we crank away. I loved it. We're dancing at home. We're doing our thing. And we're having fun along the way. So,
well, you tell your dancing school that if they need a reggae instructor, Jude Romano can do the reggae dance.
Boom.
Very well. Abdel, how much of a role does your family play by giving you the drive to succeed the way you do?
Oh, 100%. I mean, there's always times where you don't want to wake up in the morning, right? And then you turn around and you're like, oh, damn, I gotta wake up. It's 4 o'clock. I'm tired. I just had a long day. We just had an event. We just threw something. And it's important, making sure that I can provide the certain lifestyle that I can give them, and they don't have to want anything. They're blessed to have the opportunity to get whatever it is that they want. And, I think that translates in and of itself to me being the provider at the same time to how I want to take care of my team. I want to make sure my processor's good, my loan officer assistant's good, my virtual assistants are taken care of, my loan officers are taken care of, my partners are taken care of. And, this is a family. And, when I work with my clients, it's not a, hey, thank you very much, we're good to go. You're a client for life. And I think a lot of clients appreciate that, where I'm like, dude, I got you. When we close, it's not, I'm staying in consistent communication with you. I want to know, how's the kids? If I've made so many times where a client's pregnant or his significant other is pregnant, I'm checking up on them. We're sending stuff for the kids,
Right.
And it's that family bond that I love to build. And I think that gives a driving force. I don't know where I would be if I didn't have my family and kids. So,
amen. So you put your heart and soul into every
100%.
transaction, every interaction. I'm going to hit you with something right now, and you're going to have to dig really deep for this, my friend.
That's right.
Okay. What would you say would be the most fulfilling goal that you can achieve in your life, whether it be business or personal? What is the most fulfilling goal Abdel can achieve?
Being the best possible role model for my kids, and that's it. Not putting a poster of a basketball player, NFL player, who do their jobs every single day. But I'd love to have that opportunity for my kids to be like that's my pops. You know what I mean?
That's great.
And from a personal level, professional level, we all pretend like we try to have a work-life balance.
Sure.
I think every single year we get better at it.
Right.
Every single time we get better. But that's about it. Being the best role model for that, and then maybe eventually, loan officers and team members and all professionals, just all looking at each other and saying, we can do this and make it happen. So
the greatest part about that response is it's from your heart.
Yep, 100%.
You can't train to answer that. And that's it's beautiful, and that's inspiring to me as well. So thanks for sharing that. Abdel, 2 words that mean the most to me is 2 simple words, and it's in fact it's one of my slogans, and it's keep going. And so I always like to ask everyone that I have on the show is, what keeps you going? What keeps you going, Abdel? When you wake up every single day, what is it that keeps Abdel going?
I would say family, and probably not one word, but the opportunity to continue making home ownership possible. And that's it. And I understand, a lot of us put in the time and effort. We put in whatever, we're trying to save up the money. We're trying to do this. We're trying to do that. And then, John Doe Bank or ABC Bank, tells you can't get it done. And then it's just see you later.
Right.
And not every consumer has the opportunity to buy right now. And then unfortunately they give up and then get sucked into the rental world. Every single person out there has the opportunity to buy a house. You may not be ready right now, but guaranteed that if we have the ability to sit down and talk, we can make it happen. If you ran through a credit scenario, we can make it happen. If you ran into, a bankruptcy or a foreclosure, you may have to wait a little bit, but your time is coming.
Sure. What if they run into an insurance situation?
Then they're calling the GOAT.
Hey, Abdel, true gentleman. I really appreciate you coming on, sharing your story. Got mortgages, got muscles, gorilla in the house. Everybody, here we are, another successful episode, the Insurance Goat Show. And as always, keep going.